Hey guys, Mr. H. This is question 24 from the June 2024 Regents exam. About a quarter of you got this one right, which is okay, but we've definitely covered domain and range for functions. So I was hoping that more students would have gotten this one, but I kind of get it. So what I'm going to do is I am going to show you how you should graph these and kind of what to do with them. So I'm going to graph each one of these functions. And then since we're looking for a domain and the range, I'm going to box them up. And then I'm going to be looking for all real numbers, which means going from a negative infinity to a positive infinity. And then the range has got to be greater than or equal to 3. So let's go. So first thing I'm going to do is going to go get the calculator. I think I'm going to put each one of these on their separate one so we could just do them individually. So the first one is a linear functions in negative x plus 3. If you really know your functions, then you know that this is basically, it's going off the page in both directions. So the range or the domain is going to be a negative infinity to a positive infinity going this way, and the excuse me, and the range is also going to be a negative infinity to a positive infinity. So that is not the answer though, because we want a range that's greater than or equal to 3. This one is a negative infinity to a positive infinity. So it is not number 1. Let me make this red. It's not number 1. Now let's go to number 2. Number 2 is a quadratic. So I'm going to go here, do this, and then I'm going to put in x squared. It's going to be a smile, which means it's going to have a minimum, right? There it is. Now, if you do menu 51, look at where it starts there. So the bottom of the graph starts at 3 and it goes off the screen, which means it's going to a positive infinity. Now, if you look at the x's, this is going to be going off to a negative infinity in this direction, and it's going off to a positive infinity in this direction. So it looks like number 2 is our choice. But let's go ahead and look at the other ones just to be sure. So let's go here. Let's go another one. This one is an exponential. It's 3 to the x power. So we do this. And you can see that the bottom of the graph, if we're looking just from the perspective of the range, the bottom of the graph is going to be 0 because it's, now remember, this is an asymptote. So this is going to get closer and closer and closer to the 0 line or the x-axis, but it never touches. So the bottom of this graph is going to be 0, and it goes up to a positive infinity. So even though it does have a bottom, it's not a bottom of 3. 3 would be up here. So it is not number 3. So now let's look at the last one. This is an absolute value. So we're just going to go here. We're going to put this in, and then we're going to do the absolute value of x, which is this one. Oops. Let's try that again, a little slower. Bop. Come on. Dang it. Wasted time here. So I go here and I put this in, and then I just type in x plus 3. It's going to shift it horizontally to the left. All right, so look. Now, some of y'all are looking at this 3. So if I do menu 51, that's the y-intercept. But if I keep going over, let's see what happens when I go over. Bop, 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 bop. All right, that's the 0. So this is the bottom of the graph, but the range that's not a negative 3. The range is the y value. Remember Hori. So the range goes from 0 up to a positive infinity. So I think some of you might have looked at this negative 3 and go, oh, that's our answer. But first of all, it's supposed to be a positive 3. This is a negative 3. But the range is actually the y value. So it's going from 0 up to infinity. So it is definitely not the last one. So we can cross that one out. So it is the quadratic, and that's it. we're done with the multiple choice section. Yeah, I'm gonna sign off and post it.